Okay, I'm gonna explain this because it's something that I guess I've just been unpacking this personally in my journal, but I kind of thought that other people understood it. Mostly, I guess, because like I didn't realize how fucking my politics are so conservative. Okay, but my how do I say it? My idealism is so liberal. So like, what I would hope for society to become, I have all these like liberal ideals in my mind. The actuality of what I see is very conservative. Like I feel like conservatism is the only path toward a just system right now. We will never get to a just system outside of a conservative path just because of all of the problems that we have right now. But I want to explain to you like abortion and apartheid and abortion apartheid in America. That's such a good title. Abortion apartheid in America. So for me, like I can't describe to you how like I don't know what it was because like I am not some like Christian fundamentalist who was like a Mormon on a farm with like, my extremely black family, but I think it was more about understanding and they were called radical politics of the Black Panther Party, but in reality, they're actually just conservative. The same shit that the Black Panther Party was like advocating for are the exact things that the pro Israel people, Jewish people right now are advocating for. They went and bought guns. They literally said, don't hurt our women and children. They're protecting their land for that is legitimately the exact same steps. If you go read anything about what the Black Panther Party did and what they stood for, that was it. Anyway, so the point here is that like so growing up understanding that I am black and also understanding that there were just so many people who first of all did not see me as human because I was black, because, and then second of all did not want to occupy land with me. But I gotta like I am just now coming into my like adult womanhoodness where I'm able to like speak on these issues intelligibly and form an opinion based on my own lived experience, not some theory or some book. I'm talking about experiences that I've had in my own life with real like adult white women and like adult white males and adult black males. Okay, these are like my own adult experiences and they're valid and they're important because a lot of them have been themes. And what I mean by that is like I thought I was coming across like individuals and they held these beliefs. Like when I hear black men talk about, they'll literally say all types of things that are based on such intense colorism. Like they just talk about women in terms of their color. They're like brown skin girl, light skin girl, long hair girl. It's like, damn, she doesn't even have a name. She's just like a color or like a girl in a yellow dress. It's like, damn, like, or you'll still hear them just the derogatory shit that you'll hear a lot of black men say about black women. It's so hurtful. And it just, to me, it's not just hurtful. It's like, well, I don't want to fight for people like that. And that's another reason I gotta say, like, I just stopped completely showing up for black males altogether. It's just too much. I don't have like the capacity to do it. But let's keep going here. So the reason that like I gotta say, like, I don't understand why people didn't listen to that Kanye West speech, which maybe I'll grab it and like insert it here so you can listen to it for yourself. But he talks about how his dad wanted his mom to abort him, which is a real thing. And I don't know, I'm not going to say that like she didn't do the right thing or whatever. I feel like I like Kanye West's music and everything, but there's a lot of shit about him that's so problematic. And a lot of it is because of like he was not, I'm not trying to be funny here, but it doesn't sound like he was a wanted child. Like his mother wanted him, but his father clearly said that he didn't. And that's real. Like not everybody wants children. Not all men think that life is precious. Like not all men, like me and you might be sitting here conversing on the internet, or you might watch a video by me and have gotten something from it, or not. You might be on the other side being like, I hate this bitch. Like whatever way you feel, right? Like the fact is, like, I'm here now. Like my mother, the parents who had me wanted me. or not. I don't know. Maybe whatever. Like, but here I am. Now the point being here though is like, for so many black women, they have to be like the only parent who wants the child, while there's literally another. Let me go back for a second. In these happy households, you have like two parents who, first of all, like themselves, secondly, like each other, and then want to like bring something into the world that is like a result of them liking each other. Like that would be like the point of the birth. They're like, oh, I want to go into the next generation with this person that is a representative of me. So like the kid is representative of both parents at all times. You can't like take one out. Like it actually comes from two parents. And you can have as many conversations about like adoption and all those things. And I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm not saying that. But I also think that it's especially in cases of like adoption, when there's like some reason that like the child needs to be removed from the home, or the child needs to be taken away, or the parents die. Like I think those circumstances in so many cases are like undermined and like not focused on enough, because so many of them are like generational trauma bonds. So like, we can take what's happening, for instance, with black women and slavery. Black women and black people, obviously, in America were literally cattle. And so, like, the reason that you needed black people to be. The only reason that you needed black women during slavery was so that they could produce more slaves here. And so you wouldn't need to import any more slaves. But there was never a purpose, or there was never a goal to integrate black people into society to be able to like become anything or create anything, or to, you know what I'm saying, to be a part of civilization. That was never a goal in this country. The only reason that is a thing is because of fucking civil rights. That's why I can't even talk about anything really. Not if you're black in this country, you can't really say shit, except for like civil rights is the only reason that you have anything. That's it. Like otherwise, no one else on planet Earth really gives a shit about your life. You have rights, and it's only in America and like Canada. I don't know if I think Canada never had slavery proper, but like the other places didn't give a shit. Like Britain, they like it just wasn't like this idea where they're like, yes, we are so proud and we like Africans so much, we want them to be like a part of our society. They never fucking felt that way. That wasn't the thing. That's bullshit. They cared about their own kids. They wanted their own kids to become lawyers, their own kids to become engineers, their own kids to become artists, to become intellectuals, journalists, writers, all the shit. It wasn't us. It wasn't us. The thing that we have now are civil rights, and that's all we fucking have here. There isn't another thing, and the reason that it's important for especially black women to start thinking about life chances is because of this. If you don't fucking have a good life yourself, your kid isn't going to have a good life. It isn't just going to magically happen from some fucking diversity and inclusion token that you're automatically going to become better. If you don't have the skills, money, or resources to actually give to your children to make it better, then just being born isn't enough. There is no birthright for black people in America except for prison. That's why everyone keeps talking about the school to prison pipeline. The reason that there are prisons is so fucking black children can go there. That's the purpose of them. They were designed for that. Everyone can tell you all the lies about how there's not a prison cell being created every time a third grader can't read. But that's a lie too, because there are. They're there. And people are going to prison. They're really going. They're going to jail every day, every minute. They're committing real crimes. And they're getting caught. Then they're going to jail. Like, you think that this isn't happening maybe because you personally don't see it because you're doing video essays? I guarantee you it's happening. It's really, really happening. Like, for real. And the weird part is everybody's been sharing around that little video of that school teacher who's, like, talking about how everyone can't read. I'll insert that. Okay, insert now. He's right. Your kids can't read. Why do you think I made all those fucking literacy videos? How many did I make? Maybe let's count. I think I made like at least 42 literacy videos. I built an app called Comprehension that nobody fucking funded. I literally pitched it all around Silicon Valley, and everybody's like, no, we don't give a shit about this. It's not important. Lo and behold, it just so happens to be like the most important topic. Well, not to everyone. Like most, half of the people don't give a shit about. Nobody really cares about poor people being able to read. And we can contemplate and say whatever we want, but most Americans are poor and most Americans are dumb and they can't read. They aren't functioning on grade level, and that's just how it is. They're not thinking about video essays and like reading New York Times articles, and they're not talking about Palestine and Israel because they don't care, because they don't know, because they don't understand all of the context that you have about like maybe like racial division or the history of Black American slavery or even American history, really any of it. They don't know any of that because they never got like an education. People keep making all these jokes about education. College isn't worth it. It's not important. All this shit. And the funny thing is, like, no, college is actually very important, especially as a person of color. The reason it's important is because you need to learn your history. The history books that you got in elementary school are these diluted versions that made it palatable for you to continue existing with your classmates, even though we all fucking hate each other in real life. We don't all live together peacefully. We all live together with segregation and laws that prohibit people from murdering. They don't even prohibit. They incentivize some good behavior and how do you say? They justify bad behavior with criminal punishments that teach other people in society lessons. This is why if they didn't jail Tory Lanez, we would get, I guarantee you, there was like at least 100,000 other drill rap albums that Drake was probably going to be featured on all of them, where they talk about like shooting, killing, stabbing, throwing in the trash can other Black women, and all the niggers would have bought the album. It would have charted like number 10 from that very small act. Tory Lanez only got 10 years. That's not even that long, and he's probably only going to do 5. But just that was enough to be like, ooh, he doesn't even deserve 10 years. It was like, it caused people to even think a little bit. It's a small ounce of justice. Here was America was like, shoot a Black woman. All right, let's get a little bit of justice. This most silent violin in fucking history for shooting someone. Shooting a woman. Bow. Kill that bitch. They wrote 17 songs. Those songs were charting on fucking iTunes and they were allowed to play. Those songs are still there right now. You can listen to the song. I don't know why. Why did iTunes take off the one song that made some goddamn sense? Kehlani wrote the nigger song and they took that one off. Put that one back on. Equal opportunity for hate. It's so frustrating. How is it this one way? How? None of it is. And I know it's not just me who feels that way, because I know that other people feel the same anger that I feel. They just don't have the words. And I have the words. And I'm so tired of not saying the words. You try not to say the words because you're being like kind and polite, but the politeness doesn't fucking help. And the weird part about it is like the most appropriate time to be unkind is when these fucking situations come up and these experiences come up and you act like the shit that's happening with Israel and Palestine is the perfect time for people to start talking about like, ooh, okay, like I understand what's going on in Palestine and why people are acting this way. Like this is the perfect time to give a real example in real life of like why this is happening, and people don't want to have that conversation. They're calling it hate. America, apartheid, and abortion. You don't have to continue fueling the fire. I think that the cessation of Black life in America is good because we have documented destruction, right? Like the population is decreasing just like it was supposed to. Okay. Then the population will go to 0. And we will collectively, as a globe, be able to learn how to never go back to this. You don't have to integrate. Integration is not an ideal. Go back to a point in time where it was better. where you were happy in a field by yourself with like your personal apple tree and your personal family and your personal things you don't have to share. As soon as you start sharing and introducing these like life values and norms and traditions with other people, they don't respect it, they envy it, and they hate it, and they want to take it. And that's what they do. That's what they do. That's what I've learned. This is what drives me nuts. It's like, as much as I like don't want to get on here and like share all my super like personal innermost thoughts, here's what I do realize: like, other Habesha girls who are looking for these answers from my very like Americanized experience, if I don't say it, no one else will, because no one else had it. Everyone else who had my experience is dead. They all died. And like I've said on this channel many times, dead people don't tell stories. They don't. They're dead. There ain't no stories from the grave. There's no stories from the grave. The people in the grave, they just sit there dead. They don't come back. They don't like, help anyone. They don't have any advice. They just are dead. They're just dead. That's what it is.